"Take those cuffs off. He's not going anywhere." The judge hadn't even looked up when she said it, her voice clipped and tired. The man in the orange jumpsuit just stood there, hands chained at the waist, eyes staring straight ahead. He didn't speak, he didn't flinch, just stood tall as if he had something left to prove. Around the courtroom, quiet murmurs rippled from the gallery. To them, he was just another defendant, another face, another number. A combat veteran now reduced to a case file, but in his silence there was something unshakable. Like a soldier still standing at attention long after the war was over. No one cared who he used to be, not anymore. Not the prosecutors, not the bailiff, not the public. To them, he was just another headline. Vet charged in assault case. The news hadn't mentioned the details. They never do. They didn't say the man he hit was trying to harass a single mother outside a grocery store. They didn't say the police found no weapon, only his fists and his fury. They didn't say he'd been to war 4 times and come back with medals and nightmares. Just assault, just felony. He stood before the court like a ghost no one wanted to acknowledge. That's when the doors in the back of the courtroom opened and everything changed. Boots. Not the kind you hear every day. These hit the marble with precision, with weight, with purpose. Heads turned. The gallery quieted. Even the judge paused. A uniformed figure entered the courtroom, chest full of ribbons, posture like iron. A U.S. Army general. Not just any officer, his commanding officer from years ago. A man who hadn't seen him since their last deployment overseas. The general didn't speak. He walked straight past the rows of spectators, past the press, past the prosecution, straight up to the front, where the man in orange stood still and silent. He stopped, looked him in the eye, then in front of everyone, in front of the judge, the jury, and the entire court, the general raised his hand and saluted. The gasp in the room was instant. Even the judge's jaw dropped. The soldier in cuffs didn't move. His eyes welled, just slightly, but he didn't speak, didn't break posture. The general finally did. "This man," he said loudly and clearly, "saved my life. He saved 6 others that day in Fallujah. Carried 2 men on his back after taking shrapnel to the leg. He is not a criminal. He is a warrior. He is a protector. And this uniform I wear today? It means nothing if I stay silent while a man like him is left standing alone." The courtroom fell completely still. He turned to the judge. He had read the case file. He knew what happened. The man didn't attack a stranger. He defended a woman being followed and cornered in a parking lot. The man he stopped had 2 priors. No one was talking about that. The judge blinked. No one had dared interrupt her before, but she didn't speak. She just listened. The general continued. "He's not broken. He's exhausted. He's carried this country on his back longer than most of us can imagine. He deserves help, not judgment. And he sure as hell deserves our respect." The man in the jumpsuit, still silent, finally lowered his eyes. Not from shame, from gratitude. Someone had seen him, someone remembered. The judge looked down at the papers in front of her. She took a long breath. This court was prepared to deliver a sentence today, but she had just been reminded of something. Justice is not blind, and sometimes it wears a uniform. She nodded once, then looked at the man in orange. He wasn't a number. He wasn't just a case. He was a person, a veteran. And more than anything, he was not forgotten. She motioned to the bailiff, "Remove the cuffs." The chains clinked to the floor. The man didn't move at first. Then the general stepped forward, reached out a hand and helped him step down from the defendant's box like he was stepping off a battlefield. There was no applause, no shouting, just a quiet wave of realization passing over every single person in that courtroom. Because in that moment, they all saw him for who he truly was. Not a criminal, a soldier, a protector, a man who had carried the weight of war and still chose to stand. Before we wrap up the story, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? We'd love to hear. If this story touched your heart, show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel.